we have Miss Cristina Peña Andrés, CEO of TuComex. Miss Cristina, she's gonna explain and educate our audience about how technology is changing the future of logistics. The room is all yours, Cristina. Welcome to Africa Trade Summit 2021.
Thank you to everybody for joining the Africa Trading Summit 2021. This is a great opportunity to talk about international trading. That is precisely the core business of TuComex, the company that I manage today. TuComex consists of specialized professionals with proven experience in international trading, and we cover all areas. In this way, we can always offer best alternatives in international operation for every client. We provide with advising, consultancy, training, and overall, we are your international experts team for export, import, or expansion. But today, we are going to talk about how technology changing the future of logistics. Maybe the first question we could wonder is, why is it so important today to create logistics that are sustainable, digital, and collaborative? I could say that sustainable is needed to make the best value of it also for tomorrow. To talk about digital is not to miss the market opportunities and what technology allow us to develop. Because it's incredible how technologies are progressing in the last few years. It's incredible how the world is changing, and we need to be part of this change. And just to finish, collaborative is because we need to work together as a great supply chain in the world, where each contribution is greatest. And we need to base this contribution on communication and overall in win-win strategies. So giving us support, mutual support, we can really make the global world as a big team. That is why I consider so important to be part of these events, this venue, this summit, because we are now talking about Africa, and it's really a universe full of opportunities. And sometimes we are not really working so closely as we could do. And for TuComex, this is important to have this venue to tell that the world is small at the end. So technology is making the world smaller. So nowadays we need economic, ecologic, and social sustainability. So this sustainable development of transport, logistics is so important in this global economy. You will be all agree with me that it is really important to achieve decarbonization. And to get it, we need to measure the carbon footprint. But it's not just an ecological reason, it's also an economical reason, because this will allow us to be more efficient. This makes us realize which of the activities we develop in our day-to-day business are really important, and which one we could avoid or we could reduce, because the emissions of gases can be reduced if we try to be more efficient. So in fact, to talk about sustainability in the different companies is to talk about good practices. And this is an important word. Good practices means to work in the best way we could do, to realize which activities are those to be done, to define the different milestones we need to cover, and what is the route to get it in an easiest way, but also in an efficient way. So it is important really the analysis, to analyze which production methods are really the suitable one for our activity, and how we link this methodology with the rest of the world. So we are talking about technology. So which different technologies could help today to digitalize transportations moving forward? So first of all, I could say that big data is generating new business opportunities. Today we have new services, we have new business model, delivering intelligence to our business, but not only apply efficient technology, but also making processes more efficient, and also advising about which investment we need to do. What does it mean? So that means that e-commerce today has changed, for example. So the way we produce products, we sell products, we transport those products, we make them in a warehouse in a digital way, so everything is identified. We have traceability of exactly how we produce, how this is delivered to customers. So today, digital is the great force in business transformation. And it is really close that we were all at home during months. COVID was the main vector of this reality. But at the end, we get it because digitality was allowing us to do it. So it was even a new way of living, a new way of work. Sorry. So we are transforming logistics and supply chain by technology in the world. Sorry. So what we have today, in fact, we have now transparency, more knowledge, because when we are integrating blockchain to our activities, what we are doing is operating in a more efficient way. We are reducing bureaucracy. That means the different steps going from one side to another side, really creating documentations that sometimes they have a duplicity. So when we are using technology, we obtain better results. And when we apply connectivity in supply chain, what we do is to reduce mistakes, because we have double checking. And sometimes we can think, if we could share database, how many mistakes we could have avoided in the past. So the problem sometimes is that we have data and our partners has another data because they use their own database and they have not been connecting the data. And that is the great issue in the world. Sometimes our information has nothing to do with the information our customer, our partners, our suppliers are receiving. But today, what we do is to share information. We have the clouding systems, and this cloud make us share real information in a short term and to have a only vision of the truth. So we have the same vision of the data. So if something has been loaded today, for everybody has been loaded today because there is really a testimony of what has been done today. And that is really important, because what is really an issue is that I tell a story and it's different from the story of my customer. Data and digitalization, what make us is to tell the same story. It doesn't matter if we are here and we deliver in the other part of the world, but those people in the other part of the world has the same reality if the loading day is today, everything has been really reflected as loaded today. So that is really important for having the concept of what has been occurred. And at the end, another important thing is that we avoid this disruption. What does it mean? Disruption in an economic and in timing way. That means to have only one version of the timing the things has occurred, and also we have an only version of what has been done economically speaking. So what are the costs that has been incurred in real? So many technologies are impacting in warehousing, in transports. Something that is really making a change is Internet of Things. And that comes from the data that we have been talking before. So if we have data and we can register the data because we have sensors, and we can really use this data to have business conclusions, we have a lot of things already won. So we have hardware's development today, we have new transports. For example, when we are talking about new transport, we are talking about electrical vehicles. We are talking today about hydrogen. For example, in Spain, we have a project done between Talwa, Repsol, about the hydrogen train. So that's fantastic. Hydrogen is the new vector of the economy. But also we have different sources of energy today that they are green. And green is a must today. We need to preserve the global world. We need to preserve the planet, because it's what we are going to have tomorrow, not only for us, so for new generations. Another new transport can be drones. So there are technology enough. There is technology enough to develop new ways of transport, not only people, but also the different products. And how might the logistics in today's sharing economy be? And to talk about sharing economy is to talk about collaboration. We have been talking about collaboration, and we need to consider that collaborative organizations are somehow sometimes more powerful than those that are competitive. What does it mean? Current pattern in the history has been competition, and however, there should be collaboration in general, because we are a team. We are humans that try to have the welfare state as much as possible for everybody. This is obviously a desire, but we need to work to get it. And to do this, represent collaboration, sometimes between competitors. Why? Because we have many challenges in common. We are humans, so we need to fight against uncertainty. But also, for example, we know what happened with this sanitary crisis coming from the COVID-19. So sometimes we have the same enemies. That is everything that makes humans being in a poor situation, in a non-wizard situation. So in every sector, sometimes we need to collaborate with our competitors to make them partners of our current situation. And this is to create new business models, because we offer the value in which we are more competitive, and when we can have really a footprint. It's not easy. It's not easy. I know, but maybe we should think that let's make progress together, even with competitors, because progress is for everybody. Progress is what is what makes a society be the society of the future. How is the mile? The last mile. The last mile is today, with all this e-commerce that we can deliver from one side to the other of the planet in just a few days. So last mile is redefining a new scenario. So, but it's not the only thing, because in fact, the game rules are changing every day. So we know global effects from the COVID, how it is affecting our day-to-day life, not just business. And we need now to be flexible. And to be flexible, for example, in warehousing, or to be flexible, for example, sharing the production facilities, sharing the transports, why not? Sharing some production elements that can be, they are not used the 24 hours every day. So why not to share with during hours, or some days, yes, you use it, and some days you share it. Overall, sustainability let's make us not to have empty trucks going from from one side to another. So to be open to explore new opportunities. And flexibility represent less pollution, represent to have resources that they have unused. So to do the best with our resources in the planet. As a conclusion, collaborations help us to have growth in the world. Collaboration represents to have a win-win life. And if we see this future of logistics, what we need to think is if we are really ready to do it. So not sure if I know that I have just a few minutes to finalize this speech, but maybe you have some doubts before or we want to write any comment, or I finalize with some question that I would like you to consider. So what do you think? Is there any question, or I can finalize my speech?
Ms. Cristina, you can finalize the question. Yeah, you can just go ahead for finalizing.
Okay, thank you. So I would like to launch some open questions for all of you to consider if they could be, all my speech has inspired something. For example, one of the questions is, how can we be ecologically respectful no matter in which sector you are working today? So I think that sometimes people think, no, I just can be ecological if I have something to do with business related to, with energy, green energy, or green, or I am connected with nature, or I am just close to those activities that are very green or green connected. No, I think that all sectors can be improved in an ecological way. So I would like you to consider, all this speech during today to make your sector more green. It doesn't matter which sector it is, okay? So another question I would like to launch you to so that you can consider, you can have some reflections, is how do economic zones support this sustainability in logistics increase? So how we are accelerating this sustainability. And it's good, I think, to develop economic zones in the different countries, maybe to make opportunities to be international, because these economic zones are allowing us to give the best of your country, but to have the most of the opportunities to sell abroad. So to be connected with the rest of the world. Another question I would like to launch is, sometimes there are many factors that are inhibiting this international collaboration I was talking before, and it's so great, so wonderful. So to talk international collaboration sounds really fantastic, but how we can articulate this to happen? Sometimes we know that is difficult because international trading sometimes comes from governments that are really putting some obstacles for the business people or the professional, or to do what they would like to do. Sometimes cultures are, we can be in some summit like today, joining different cultures, different regions in the world. So that's fantastic. Can be here together. It doesn't matter which country we represent. I come from Spain, but there are people from many, many countries in this venue. But sometimes what is easy for us, that we can connect today to Zoom, we can connect to Meet, to Google Meet, or to Teams, or whatever platform you have for doing this call conference. Sometimes it's complex. So maybe, nations should develop different mechanisms to make this easier. So just to finalize, because I think time is finishing, what I would like is to say that we have a highest potential of business using technology today. And remember, to be sustainable, to be collaborative, and to be digital are 3 keys for us to achieve an international trading that is global, is good, and is successful. Thank you, everybody that has been listening to me, and thank you for inviting me to this summit. Thank you, everybody in the organization, and this is a great venue. Thanks.
Thank you, Cristina, for your views, and not just trading, I would say, like valuing humanitarianism. Let's make progress together. Loved your keynote very personally. You're very inspirational on today. Thank you for your views and the digitalizing, and as well as how you get connected to the international market. And have a wonderful day. Thank you, Cristina.
Thank you. Cheers.